They want us, again, to be afraid of them. They want us to be scared, intimidated into silence. I can lose my safety. I can lose security. They can take everything away from me, but they can't take my voice. They want us to be intimidated.
They feed off it.
They escalate in every single way if they are not able to use that fear in order to intimidate us into backing down.
So if you're not intimidated, they escalate.
And that's exactly what happened to Alex. He did not let them intimidate him. In fact, he stood up for two women that they were absolutely brutalizing, and that made them mad that they were not able to intimidate him into tucking his tail and leaving.
Hi, I'm Suri Crowe, and you're watching the MeidasTouch Network. That is Kayla Schultz, who was sitting in her car on Nicollet Avenue as ICE agents attacked legal observers right in front of her and pursued Alex Preddy right before they gunned him down in a hail of bullets. I heard 10 rounds.
Your camera is actually the closest camera to that moment of the Border Patrol guy shoving these women onto the sidewalk. But it's the closest, and you have the closest vantage point of them being pepper sprayed.
One moment, there are people being pushed around. There are people being maced right in front of me. The next thing I know, it's gunshots.
ICE goons illegally detained every single witness they could get their hands on at the scene, terrifying people like Kayla and the pink coat lady, later identified as Stella Carlson, who also gave CNN an interview. These are the heroes of our time. And as I am recording this video, the corrupt DOJ under Pam Bondi at Trump's direction arrested Don Lemon and 3 other independent journalists today, Traherne Jean Cruz, Georgia Fort, and Jamel Lundy, for reporting the truth. We are in the Putin-esque Russia part of jailing the journalists now. And I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you that I am afraid, which is what this regime wants me to feel. They want all of us to feel silenced, defeated, and scared. But just because I'm afraid doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing my job. Most of us don't have the resources and wealth that a Don Lemon has, but we're out here standing up to this regime, because if we don't, then they win. Standing up can happen in many different types of ways. Take this, for example.
No other president has done this. I mean, no other president has done this.
Release the files!
Presidency.
Trump, release the
I
files!
probably have this little piece of ear back, you know? I wouldn't have to listen to lunatics like
What
this.
are you afraid of? What are you
I wouldn't have to
afraid of?
listen to
Release the
midnight.
files! Release the files! Release the files!
Let's go, you're uninvited, let's go.
Release the files! Release the files!
This way.
Release the files!
Good here. Do we love our law enforcement? They want to.
That brave patriot, man, she's awesome. Her name is Renee Page. She showed up and got into Trump's rally in Iowa earlier this week, a very poorly attended rally, I might add, as opposed to what Fox News would have you believe. And she called Trump out on the Epstein files, was quickly removed from the rally. And I asked her why she did what she did. I thought it was a particularly brave move in this climate.
I have been asked why I decided to do that. And the answer to that rather is because it needed to be said. It's high time that this administration starts being held to account. There was a court order about 6 weeks ago ordering them to release these files, and they're not. And Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice are just openly breaking the law, just like the Trump administration, just like ICE in Operation Metro Surge. They're openly murdering people in the streets and terrorizing communities and tear gassing our own people. This is not our America. This issue is so important to every single person in this country. We have to fight for democracy. We have to take a stand. And the only way we can do that is by holding the people in office accountable. And Trump, of all people, has not yet been held accountable for any of his crimes. And so that's why I decided to double dog dare him to release those files.
Way to go, girl. You can follow Renee on social media at Your Lion Eyes, spelled like lion, rar, Lion. People from all over the world have been so moved by the unbelievable courage of Minnesotans as they have been under a paramilitary siege by the Trump regime. Even under the most pressing and frightening of circumstances, Minnesotans have shown up.
I asked this earlier today when I was riding around with those two folks. There's real risk here. I mean, it's horrific to have seen and to contemplate. Like, are people scared? Are they like, did you hear from people at trainings or get-togethers after Renee Good was shot and killed or Alex Preddy was shot and killed? Like, I'm sorry, I can't come in today.
I live near Renee Good and where she was assassinated. What I saw the day after was the amount of people coming out doubled. What I see is it's absolutely risky. They will shoot my neighbor Renee in the face. They will assassinate Alex on the streets of Minneapolis. And there is no way that any of us can go to bed at night knowing that we did not do everything in our power to carry on Renee's work, to carry on Alex's work. And the people of Minneapolis can sleep soundly because we have shown up day after day for 8 weeks to protect each other and to protect our neighbors.
I mean, they have set the trail. They are the pioneers of how we stand up to the Trump regime. And every single one of us has a role to play right now. For some of us, it's reporting. For others, it's bearing witness to the crimes and atrocities this regime is committing. For others, it's protesting, using our wallets to support the good companies and to block the bad, like Target, Amazon, Apple, etc., etc. But either way, however we do it, history is calling us to show up at this moment. And anyone who remains silent and does nothing is now complicit with this evil. I'm serious. If you say nothing and do nothing, you are helping this regime because the Trump regime knows that it's caught dead to red. They know they're criminals. And that is why they are trying so hard to silence us into submission. But remember, there are more of us than there are of them. We outnumber them. So I encourage you to sign up with Indivisible, get into group chats with trusted people. Trusted is the key word. Get to know your community members who are on the right side of history. Sign up for a Know Your Rights training. I did one last week. The next one is February 5th. You can go to No Kings. The info is on your screen right here. I highly encourage you to do this. Remember that we are all neighbors. We've got to look out for each other. We're stronger together. And that has been the example that Minnesota has shown us. And Miles Taylor, who worked for the first Trump administration and has subsequently been targeted by the Trump regime himself, has just started a legal defense fund for independent journalists like myself and the 3 others who were arrested today, along with Dawn, who don't necessarily have the resources to hire attorneys. It's called defiance.org. Let's get it going so that we can support a free and independent press. Because the independent press is the last place where the truth is being reported. We've seen corporate media absolutely fold. They are now complicit with the Trump regime. We've seen it from CNN to obviously CBS now is just propaganda. I mean, forget Fox and all the right-wing ones, but corporate media is not going to save the day. They are just parroting talking points. So it's up to us in the independent media sector. And there are a lot of us who really need to know that, somebody's got our back if the worst happens. My heart is going out to those 3, lesser known independent journalists who were arrested today. And, I'm praying that they are also getting legal counsel. I mean, Don Lemon has hired Abby Lowell. Like, he's a tremendous lawyer, but he's very expensive. So let's support defiance.org. And, let's just all stick together right now. This is a frightening time. Like I said, I get nervous, but I'm not going to quit because then they win. All right. So I will see you guys back here soon. Please make sure you follow me on my socials below. Most importantly on Substack, also Instagram, before the dark overlords close that down. And I will see you back here soon. Okay. Peace.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.